Hey, what's going on, y'all? I just want to make a quick video recapping the trade and setups that I took today, along with my game plan and thesis heading into today's trading session. And right off the bat, I'm gonna dissect down the daily chart and just give observations on what I see. So right off the bat, as you can see, the past couple of months, market has been uptrending crazy, and we just reached all-time highs, which is around here. That was a glitch over there. Don't mind that. But markets currently retested all-time highs on Fridays and Thursday, I believe. And as you can see by these upper wicks over here on the daily, as well as I'm just gonna go to the 1 minute. I mean 1 hour. My bad. You can see huge upper wicks here near all-time highs, indicating that sellers were very present when price reached this level over here and instantly brought price all the way back down to a balance. As you can see, I believe this was Thursday's price action, and you can see right off the bat, markets rallied into all-time highs, rejected it really strongly first time off pre-market, and right into the market session open. You can see by this upper wick over here that we rejected harshly again, bringing price all the way back down to a balance around over here 47.83. And you see with Friday as well, same thing happened. Markets attempted to break all-time highs, quickly rejected off from the highs over here, back down to a balance, and just consolidated here throughout the day. And this was MLK Day. Price was stagnant, but as you can see, throughout the next futures trading session, price did start to recheck slowly back into this balance over here that held up throughout the day, throughout the week, and yeah. So just knowing that in my knowledge, um, I was able to come up with a game plan. Just pretty much off this level over here, this demand zone over here, which is pretty key. Also, if you were to look into the 5 minute frame, oops, you can see that markets also actually had a key rejection level over here at around 48.05. You can see we rejected off this level multiple times throughout pre-market session, and this also served as a previous support from Friday's lows as well. So I was wondering if this was maybe a potential, a support turn resistance type scenario, which it did happen intraday. But as you can see, we broke through it, and but that's for later. But yeah, so right off the bat, the main levels I was looking for as I head into the session open was this 47.83 demand zone area over here, as well as this 48.05 level, pre-market highs, not pre-market highs, but you know what I mean. Um, so the rule of thumb that I usually go by is I usually don't trade the first 5 to 10 minutes because again I want to be more conservative as well as have more extra confirmation. Because I like to read price action, and that's pretty much the only clue that I play off of is price action and just really following the momentum in the markets, and that's just how I like to trade personally. So right off the bat, the main levels of the main levels of liquidity I was looking out for was over here and over here. So pretty much indicating that I'm only gonna take a setup when price reaches over here or over here, which kind of helps me, mitigate as many unnecessary trades as I need to, and just come up with a better game plan. Risk to reward wise as well. So as you can see right off the bat, let me head into the minute chart, break it down. You can see markets opened up very heavily into this key resistance area 48.05, in which the next candle after we rejected sharply. And mind you, this is the minute chart, so this is all within roughly 5 minutes over here. And back to according to this scenario over here, the best this trade would have worked out perfectly if you went short over here. Because once we tapped into this resistance level over here, you can see heavy selling occurring over here, and brought price all the way back down. And I was aware of this, and I was also eyeing for a potential retest back down to the downside, but I was just not comfortable taking a setup that early because I usually just don't take opening drive plays or you know opening setup plays, if that makes sense, because I like to let the market develop a bit more and tell us have more information, if that makes sense. But in this scenario, obviously that's subject to change in the future. But as of currently right now, I just really just want to focus on mastering one strategy and just knowing like what works out best for me. Because even though this trade would worked out really quick, the best trades that I take, or at least I feel like they take time to play out, and they really just those are the type of trades that I like, like I like taking, knowing that like I'm going with the flow of the market, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, I was also because even though this move did reach the price target that I wanted to reach, if I were to go short over here very quickly, I was also considering the fact that there is also liquidity that was being held up pre-market over here and over here, and pretty much at this point, everything just factored in the fact that there could have been potential bounce over here, along with just the fact that I don't play like the openings that much. That just kind of led me to like steer away from this setup over here, even though it was it worked out really well and I should have probably taken it, but I didn't, and I was aware of that, which is I'm okay with that. As I watched markets went down, I would just waited for the next area of liquidity to be touched, which happened to be right here. And as I was waiting for my level to be hit, which occurred around 950. At this point, my next thing that I'm looking for mainly is just imbalances and confirmation, along with the 5 minute frame. And the first imbalance that I spot is this 952 candle over here, and you can just kind of tell just leading up to this candle over here. Like first, as you can see, we made another leg down. We touched this demand over here. We had a nice lower wick, which indicates that there was some buying present over here, but the candle still closed red, so I needed more confirmation. And next candle open, we had a really nice engulfing imbalance FEG candle, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same shit. This is just indicating that there's more bids, more buyers hitting the bids than there are people wanting to push the price down below 47.83, and that there are buyers willing to buy at 47.83, which is the main thing that you want to play off of, which is liquidity. So this is the first confirmation that kind of made me put my eyes out for this potential trade, if that makes sense. And the next steps that I'm looking for is just seeing if this consolidation can hold, along with proper confirmation on the 5 minute frame. And once I'm seeing these two 1 minute candle holds, indicating that price is really strong, along with a 5 minute confirmation. Bro, I fucking hate when it does that shit. 5 minute confirmation close, doji reversal over here, and the nice engulfing open the next one. I pretty much I went long at I went long roughly at 9:55. As you can see, when we had another push up over here, I at this point I went long at this candle over here with my stop loss roughly around 47.85 ish. At the end of the day, this is all just like levels. Not everything is to a T. You need to give some slippage room, whatever the case may be. But my price target was 4,800, roughly over here, and I'll show you why real soon. I'm gonna go over the bookmap replay. But as for the chart wise, this was the risk to reward that I wanted to play out. I don't think they have the risk to reward thing here, but I was risking roughly around 3, 4, 5 points to make roughly around. I had an entry at 47.89 here, roughly around 11 points. So I'm just like 2 to 2.5 risk to reward, which is pretty good. And I'm just gonna go over the bookmap replay real quick, just in 2xp, just to break it down to see what I saw on the tape. As you can see, this is 951 over here, which is roughly over here. This is when we see first signs of buyers over here. You can see prices being held up at this 47.83 demand area, and you'll see surely what I mean by an imbalance when I spot in the market. As you can see right now, like selling sellers are still trying to bring the price back down, but you can see buyers are slowly, you know, making a push up over here. You can see he was trying to make like lower highs, if that makes sense. And right here, this is the type of imbalance that that I usually spot for on the tape, because this indicates that this is buyers are willing to buy at this area over here, and this is liquidity being supported. But then again, this is just the step one. You want to make sure that this imbalance is actually confirmed. It isn't just a fake out or a liquidity grab. And this is where step two comes in, where you want to wait for a price to come back into this imbalance and show signs of buying, or just see if it can stay like strong above this liquidity level over here. Because obviously, if price goes over here and it just dumps all the way back down, then you know that indicates a potential further sell off back down, because the buyers are currently not supporting price down here. But enough yapping. You can kind of see how this is exactly what I'm talking about over here. Once I spotted this over here, this pretty much gave me confirmation that okay, like buying is being supported at this area over here. And now at this point, you can see it's 9:53 over here. The next step is just I want the 5 minute confirmation close, because at the end of the day, like I backtested this thing a lot of times, and it just always works better if you have like a candle 5 minute minimum confirmation candle to at least support your thesis. So because there's been many times where I enter prematurely, and then the last 30 40 seconds of the candle, that shit just goes absolutely like shit and doesn't go my way. And yeah, stuff like that does happen. As you can see, price did pull back here, and let's see if I did jump the gun and enter that over here, right? I probably would have had to risk way more than if I just were patient and waiting for more signs of buying, if that were to make sense. So as you can see, price is still consolidating over here, and right now I'm just waiting to see if we can make lower highs from the lows over here, and see if price can hold. And as you can see right over here, this this pretty much just gave me confirmation that this trade was pretty much is gonna go my way, because as you can see, this consolidation one is holding up pretty well. At this point, I had everything lined up. Let's just say I enter around over here, right? Enter over here, doesn't really matter. You know, the the range is 2 points. I can afford that. Let's say even if I entered over here, which I did. Obviously, I would like to enter here, but can't get perfect entry. Enter over here, stop loss roughly around here, 47, 84, 83-ish, risking roughly about 5 points, 4 points. But then again, this is all subjective. I'm just really just paying attention to price action and seeing how momentum is agreeing with the trend and direction, if that makes sense. And as you can see, the trade went in my favor instantly, and this was the my price target, 4,800. As you can see, this was the next area of liquidity that really had the most sellers at. So if this was pretty much the like a magnet, I would say, for price to retrace to, if I were to if I had to choose a price target. And I was just being aware, and I scaled out 2 out of 3, I believe, on over here at 9:59, at around 47.94, because I was also um considering the potential fact that this could also be just a pullback to the downside, something like this, like this, and this could happen. I don't know that. All I know is I gotta manage my risk, and pay attention to what the tapes is telling me. And right now the tapes is telling me that buyers are really strong. Still want to make a push up, and as you can see, this is the next mini liquidity, I guess you can say, in which I took profit off. But my ultimate price target, which I really wanted to scale all out, was 4,800. But unfortunately, I didn't get to do that, and I will just show you guys why later. I'm gonna fast forward the table a little bit over here. I'm still holding this trade at this point. No reason to really panic or whatever. Everything is going smoothly. So right around here, I believe 9:55. As you can see, like this is what you really want to see. You want to see price falling back, but buyers holding up, because that's showing you strength, and there's a higher chance of trend working out in your favor. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta view it as an auction. You know what I'm saying? If there's only like if there's a lot of people willing to buy, let's just say this Mercedes Benz at $20,000 over here, right? As the price goes higher, then if the price were to potentially go back down over here, then and people really want that Mercedes Benz for $20,000, then they're gonna buy over here. You know what I mean? That's just how the market works. So as you can see, we got this strong push up, and right over here, I scaled out 2 out of 3. I'm only trading, 3, 4 mini contracts right now because I'm broke. I have no money. Now I'm playing, but actually, yeah, I am broke. But right now, I'm just really just mainly just back testing, just making sure I get my strategy down packed, and I know exactly what I'm looking for, if that makes sense. So right here, scaled out 2 out of 3 because I'm expecting, somewhat of a pullback over here, which it did happen. But as you can see, I did not get my 4,800 price target, even though Marcus did hit that later on and above. Because as you can see, surely, because at this point I'm still in 1 out of 3 runners, and right now I'm expecting price to hit this 4,800. Everything is looking good, but just as we made another leg up, and I'm roughly about, let's just say, I think 3 points away from my price target over here. At this point, I was kind of considering just taking it off, but I really want to practice holding into my price targets, you know. But unfortunately, as you can see, the pulled back way more than I kind of expected to, and I was possibly considering that this scenario right here was possibly the scenario that I was considering that might could happen, because you guys still take into consideration that we are still trending downwards intraday. So again, everything is just possibility. So at this point, you know, even though my stop loss is roughly around 47.89, which is break even, my entry roughly around right here, and as you can see, how we tapped into my entry and we just rallied throughout later. But I was kind of worried that that there was a high chance that this scenario was gonna play out. So I kind of just I guess you can say panic sell it, whatever you call it. But mainly, I really just didn't want to just um lose money on my runner, because you know even though like right now I understand I'm only trading a small amount of size, I need to just work on knowing when to take my profits, knowing when to sell really, and just making sure that I don't let nice winning trades turn red on me, bag holding, all that stuff. But in this case, one thing I realized after reviewing was I did not wait for a 5-minute confirmation close to exit my trade, when I always do that when I enter my trade, and just kind of it's stupid. Like, if you're gonna like entries and exits, they're both equally as important. So why wouldn't you want confirmation for both? So yeah, as you can see, um around this time over here, I started to get a bit suspicious, because you know despite the fact that we did have a strong rally over here, I didn't really like how we rejected this level over here and how this 5-minute candle closed. And I know you can't see it over here, but halfway through this candle over here, it was looking really bearish. Like it looked like the red candle over here with the lower wick on the bottom, and I really just thought that price was probably gonna just trend back downwards over here. But that wasn't the scenario. Price flipped all the way back up and ended up hitting my price target and some over here. Yeah, it was a pretty tough pill to swallow, but you know, followed my plan. Honestly, it was a great trim. Just in hindsight, if I just held my runner, wasn't so pussy to just give back maybe 1 2 points or whatever, could have maybe caught an extra 20-point win. But that's what I'm working towards. Just really making sure those runners, like I'm able to hold my runners throughout those big days, and just really just keep me in the green by constantly taking small profits along the way and letting my runners run. But yeah, that was kind of the trade setup that I wanted to go over today. Took a lot longer than I expected to. I thought this shit was only gonna take like 10 minutes, but there was actually a lot like to break down and whatnot. But I hope it was pretty useful. You know, I learned a lot from today's session. Not gonna lie. And yeah, continue to improve. Hopefully everyone, can get rich, become profitable soon. But yeah, I'm ending this video. About to take a break and chill out. Yeah, peace. See y'all next time.